Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of season 2 here at Inter Milan. I asked you guys in the last episode to have a vote with regards to the potential of training Alban Lafont or leaving him as he is at 84 rated in goal. The overwhelming response was yes, start to train Alban Lafont, so I shall start to do that in today's episode. Also, we were voting, or not necessarily voting, but asking for your feedback with regards a new striker. Mauro Icardi in real life looks like he's on his way out of Inter Milan. We haven't really clicked with him that well in this save either, so it seems like the best idea to move him on. And I asked you guys for potential replacements. One very popular one that I wasn't expecting actually was Luka Jovic from Benfica. It was the highest thumbs up comment. Luka Jovic potentially coming in from Benfica. So I'd be willing to give that a go. It's a player I've never used. A player who, let me just quickly check on FIFA, whose potential could be quite high. He's already grown to 85 from 82, and he has potential of 88, so there's plenty of growth left in him. He's still only 22. We could, of course, train him as well, perhaps, at some point. So I'd be willing to give him a crack, Luka Jovic. Also, Gabriel Jesus was very popular. He's rumoured, and it is only a rumour in real life, that Dybala and Mauro Icardi might be used together in a swap deal between Juventus and Inter Milan. Juve can't afford to go out and buy Icardi outright because of financial fair play rulings. So the rumour is, or at least it was back in February time, that they would give Inter a little bit of money and Paulo Dybala, and Icardi would go the other way. Obviously, Dybala's fallen out of favour a little bit at Inter with Ronaldo coming in and Moise Kean getting a lot of first team football. I'd potentially not like to do that. I've signed Dybala in the Achieve and Leave series that is still continually ongoing over on Mixer on stream. So I've signed Dybala at Barcelona, so I'd probably lean away from him in this YouTube series as well. So I think we're going to give Luka Jovic a go. We'll see if we can get him in. If we're unable to get him, he's currently valued at £43.5 million, although it reckons I could get him for between 31.6 and 43. So his contract must be running out, surely. Can I have a look at his full profile? Or actually, not even his full profile. Luke, it should say perhaps contract running out in... no, it doesn't. It just says at the closest 2016. I'm surprised that I should be able to... It reckons I could get him cheaper, though. I'd be really intrigued to see if we could get him a little bit cheaper then. What I will do is add Mauro Icardi to the transfer list. It might lessen the amount of money we're getting for him, but he's valuable enough so that regardless of whatever fee we get from it, it'll still be massive and still be plenty good enough to get someone else in of decent quality. He's currently valued at £64 million, and I'm sure we can ask for upwards of 90 to 100. So we'll advance a little bit. I do need to add the training modules in for Alban Lafont over the next week or so in game, and we will do that. We've got Juventus coming up this month with regards or transfer for Delbert. We'll say no to that. We've got a game against Juventus coming up in the league. We also have our first foray into the Coppa Nazionale this season with a game in the round of 16 against Sampdoria. They'll probably be the two games that I play this month, and we'll sim the others. So Atalanta at home, Genoa away, and Sampdoria at home in the league. We'll play this game, or we'll sim this game against Atalanta, and then I'll sort the training out for Alban Lafont. There are a couple of other youngsters I would like to start. Okay. Blank decided to terminate his youth contract, so I don't know which youth player it is that I've lost. Cheers, game. Right, an offer for Mauro Icardi. We shall negotiate. What does he reckon I could get? 100 to 147 million pounds. Well, Leipzig aren't exactly strapped for cash, so we shall see if we can get a decent amount of money for him. I will propose a new transfer fee of 145 million, and we'll see if they'll come up as far as about 130. 115 as a first jump is massive, so they might come up as far as 130 if we keep negotiating. They will pay 135. Well, that was better than anticipated, I believe. It's probably the best way to phrase that. Memphis Depay is into the starting lineup again, back from injury now. It was a little bit of a... Excuse me, Duvan Zapata, I'd rather you didn't. It was a little bit of a call for potentially Depay to go into the striking position and to sign a new winger. I'm leaning away from that. I think I'd like to leave Depay out wide. Because clearly he's making an impact there from that wide role. You have to apologise, or you have to forgive me for potentially needing to just get rid of a few sniffles, etc. I'm still rather ill, but we shall push forward. 3-2 up here and getting the victory against Atalanta. Depay with the 2 crucial goals, then Bruno Fernandes with the game-winning. I'm going to go and sort the training out, and then hopefully we can get that Mauro Icardi deal done, and then go and sign a new striker, perhaps before the game against Genoa. Turns out that a youngster that wanted out was the centre mid Falca, so he was in this training regime with Romano. I've just removed the training module that Romano had for crossing and long passing. It's not necessarily essential for a striker. And I've added Alban Lafont into these 2 training sessions there. So I shall delete that preset and add a new one, which is, well, let's just call it striker and goalkeeper. You'll have to let me know at what point I should stop training Alban Lafont. Like, at what rating we should, you know, if he gets to like 87, maybe I should stop training him at 87, or do you want me to just keep training him till he gets into the 90s? You'll have to let me know. I don't necessarily want to go overkill with it, but we'll wait and see what happens. That transfer for Brozovic that I should reject. Not thinking of selling anyone else in this window as things stand. Want to just rotate the striker, and there you go. Mauro Icardi sold. So we shall try and get Luka Jovic now if we can. Icardi's gone. 125.5 million added to the budget. Let's see if we can't get Luka Jovic in from Benfica. He's not the sort of striker I would usually go for. So I am intrigued to see if he's any good. We shall offer a transfer. Reckoned that we could get him quite cheap. So I'll offer 40 and see if they're going to go massively high. 50. They're not going high at all. I'll drop that to 45 and then submit the offer again. 46.6. For an 85 rated striker that has the potential to grow to 88, I think that's pretty good, to be fair. And he's only on 20 grand a week currently, Benfica, so hopefully he shouldn't want massive amounts wage-wise. He'll want an increase in his wages, obviously, but at just 22 years of age, he shouldn't be too greedy, I wouldn't have thought. We put him on a 5-year contract. I'd like it if they gave me an idea of what they want wage-wise, so I don't balls it up, and they have done, which is good. So I shall counter, remove the bonus, and I'm quite happy to give him exactly that. We still have a massive amount of money here left over at the end of the business, the end of business being done. So I am unsure as to what to do with that money now. I don't know whether to save it and have it carry over to next season, and then we could really go, like we spent 200 million in the opening window of this season. We could really go ham next year if we had an extra 100 million to spend. I might do that. I'm not sure. Let's simmer this game away from home against Genoa and hopefully get victory there too. They've just lost 3-1 to Juventus. Bruno Fernandes gives us a first-minute lead, so we should be able to hopefully build on that. Be interesting to see if Luka Jovic can get himself a goal on debut. Someone did mention in the comments that when we called Bauer up, the right back, to the first team, it had given him the number 4, which is retired at Inter for Zanetti. We had previously removed someone from that number 4 role, so I will go back into the squad numbers. It's a draw against Genoa. I'll go back into the squad numbers and remove Bauer from that number 4 role as well. But we've got Sampdoria coming up in the Cup, and that will be the game that we play next, so we shall head there now. Sampdoria are as strong as they can be here, other than a couple of stamina issues, so they're going to be tough opposition. I'm going to play with the rotated side, mainly because I want to have my first team fully fit for the game against Juventus this upcoming weekend, so that has to take priority. We'll just actually make sure that that Jovic is on the bench should we need him. And then, fingers crossed, we can get ourselves through to the next round of the Coppa Nazionale. We got knocked out by Udinese last year at the round after this one, at the quarter-final stage. Hopefully, this time, we'll be able to come away with the domestic cup trophy this season. Dalbert. Forward nicely to Politano. Around the corner to Vecino. Driving forward. Option there is Brozovic. I see the space here for Jan Karamo. And this should be 1-0. Oh, and is. Great finish. Bar then post, I think. Rather than post then bar. Bar, post and nestled right in that corner before rolling out from the fold of the net. I mean, pulled their defence all over the place. And then Karamo's pace. Oh, yeah. Bar and then just hit the post before it hit the ground. Really emphatic finish. I wasn't aiming to be quite that accurate with it, to be honest. But, yeah, really good finish from Jan Karamo. We lead after 15 minutes at the San Siro. Oh, it's a great delivery. And Van Huysden. Oh, it's just hit Dalbert. Didn't react to that. Milivojevic's shot is blocked by Brozovic, thankfully. Really lackadaisical defending from Dalbert. They just let it hit him. Jan Karamo's trying to get away from Ristovski, but he's quite fast, actually. Done well there, just to keep the ball off him. Lautaro Martinez was calling for it, but he didn't make the best of runs to try and find him. We will get it to him now. And then look to slot Brozovic through. Is this a second? No, he's pulled the shot wide of the target. Could have been one after 15 and one after another 15. But he's missed the target. Bauer. Brozovic. There's space for Karamo again. And Politano's there at the back post. In fact, I've got 3 to aim for. But, oh, is that a foul? I would like, certainly, to see a replay of that in slow motion. I'm not sure as he gets any of the ball here. As I turn... Oh, he's kind of stood on the ball at the same time as me and then bundled Karamo over. I'll let you guys decide there whether you think that's a penalty or not. I reckon I should have had a spot kick for that, but I can perhaps see why the referee erred on the side of caution. Gagliardini. Forward there to Lautaro Martinez. And there's Brozovic. Gagliardini again. Lautaro's made the run. Oh, it's a lovely ball through, and the finish is exactly what we needed. That pass from Gagliardini was perfect. Between 2 defenders for Lautaro to run round the back and sneak in behind. Lovely run by the Argentine. Just kept going. Into Gagliardini. And, oh, good finish too. Really pleased with that. That's 2-0. That should be us through to the quarterfinals of the Coppa Nazionale. But we can't get carried away because that's the round that we got knocked out at last year, as we mentioned earlier on. So we'll take it a game at a time. We won't start dreaming about lifting that trophy just yet. Lovely ball by Bustos down to Wesley. Turns back to Bustos. Balls come in well. Just hit Brozovic. I'm slightly concerned with the way that defenders have just been letting the ball hit them in this game so far. There's been a distinct lack of effort to actually take control or clear the ball from a couple of players. Thankfully, Diogo Godini switched on there. Vecino's trying his best. And Rebic is onside, but thankfully Alban Lafont leaps away to deny them a goal back. That could have led to a rather nervy final 20 minutes if that goes in. Thankfully, it didn't, and we should now be able to see the game out. We might even be able to get ourselves a third. I see Karamo at the back post, and it seemed that I've aimed for, but Ristovski has the pace to get back to it to ensure that we don't finish them off for good. Wesley out wide to Bustos. Into the middle. Gagliardini's alert. It's going to drop to Wesley, and again, poor defending leads to a Sampdoria chance. This time it's taken. It's not the first time that a defender's... To be fair, he did try to react to it. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He stuck a leg out there and tried to get to it. He's just been unlucky that it's fallen straight to Wesley, who's thumped it home. We were slightly nervy of it being an awkward final 20 minutes. We avoided it on that occasion, but it is now going to be a slightly awkward final 10 minutes. There's the final whistle. It's victory. They pushed us close at the end, Sampdoria, but it wasn't good enough. We're through to the next rounds of the Coppa Nazionale, which we're very pleased about. Scoring apparently 2 goals from 1 shot on target. Evidently, Karamo's effort that hit the bar didn't count as a shot on target. Torino are through on pens against Napoli. Sassuolo and AC Milan. Atalanta, Roma, Juventus and Chievo Verona knock out Lazio in Rome. Wow. Who we'll get in the next round, I'm not entirely too sure. All we know is that right now we're concentrating on that game against Juventus. Bayern have offered for Bauer. Clearly, they're aware of his potential to become quite the appealing footballer, but it will be Juventus next. We are level with them at the top of the table. Last time we played them, we lost in extra time. This time, I'd like to go one better And rather than drawing after 90 minutes, win after 90 minutes. Let's see what their starting lineup looks like. Mine obviously is going to stay as it is. Ronaldo's only 90 rated now, so starting to drop in rating in game. Dybala's up wide right. On the left, could be Douglas Costa. Koke. Let's put Matuidi in there at CDM ahead of Emre Can. Bentancur could go in there, although perhaps Pjanic should be starting as well. No, you're certainly not starting there. They must have sold Alexandro unless he's injured. Can't see him. They must have sold Alexandro. Unless I'm being blind, which I don't believe I am. Chiellini is ageing. So they look like they want to start Maguire and Bonucci. I'm quite happy with that if they want to. And Szczesny will start ahead of Perrin. They've got the options on the bench. Maybe they could do with a centre mid on the bench. Let's go Bentancur just to give them the options. Right then, it's Juventus versus Inter Milan for the fight at the top of Serie A.
What's happened to Juventus
in there to
more recently is a
Nangolan.
reminder of how popular they
Aurier.
are, not just in the
Towards
city,
Nangolan
but
again.
all over Italy. They're often
Rabiot to
supported
Depay.
by the club's second
Mostly
team,
to
aren't
Bruno
they?
Fernandes. Is Luka Jovic on debut. Will look to bend. That took a slight deflection off Harry Maguire's foot to ensure that it was comfortable for Wojciech Szczesny. Really pleased to see that Luka Jovic is straight in at the thick of the action at the beginning of his first played game.
Very hard team to crack.
Like I say, he's not the sort of player that I'd usually go for up top, but he was the most popular suggestion in the comment section, so that's what we've gone for. Joao Cancelo to Cristiano Ronaldo, and Juventus will try and build down the right-hand side, but we've stepped in well there with Skriniar, drawing himself out of position, running the risk of getting... Oh, Luka Jovic is in behind. Luka Jovic is right-footed, and we've used the outside of that right foot. 11 minutes into his played debut. Obviously, he was in the simulated game earlier on against Genoa. He scored. Great movement from him to make the run in behind the defenders. And after 10 minutes at home at the San Siro, we're 1-0 up against our main title rivals. And it's the new man that's given us the lead. Lovely finish. Ronaldo. Nice 1-2 with Douglas Costa. Cross there to Blaise Matuidi. We cannot write Juventus off. Rabiot steps in well though. Hopefully, the fact that Ronaldo is slightly ageing now will mean that he's less effective. Well, not necessarily slightly ageing. He's been ageing for a while. Hopefully, the fact that his rating is slightly dropping will mean that he won't be as effective in game. Oh, Douglas Costa's dropped the shoulder brilliantly there. And Alban Lafont stands and watches as Douglas Costa brings Juventus level. What a finish. Brilliant drop of the shoulder here on the edge of the box to get past Aurier. His dummy all ends up there, and then it's pure shot power. I don't know whether Lafont must have been wrong-footed, assuming he's going to go left. And as he prepares himself to go left, the ball goes right. Wasn't really in the corner, wasn't really high. Comfortable height, just wrong-footed there, the keeper. And Juventus found themselves level just 7 minutes after going behind. This title fight isn't over yet, by a long shot, is it? Pepe to Serge Aurier. Turns well. In there to Jovic. Across to Rabiot. Memphis just tries to squeeze that to Bruno Fernandes and gets the pass off. Telles inside to Memphis Depay. There's Rajan Nangolan. He's gone again there, Memphis. Now hit it early. Oh. But he's just missed the target. Looking for that bottom right-hand corner. Tried to be precise. Right idea. But he set it too far out the post so that he didn't quite bend enough to find that corner. Telles. Lovely ball down the line. Looking for Memphis, who drops his shoulder well. See the man on the edge of the box here. It's Bruno Fernandes. And will dink it. Looking for Nangolan, who's in space. He's headed it rather than volleying it. And it's gone wide of the target. That was really tame, Raja. Really, really tame. What I should have done is held LT there and asked him for the volleyed finish, and it might have gone in. Ronaldo forcing himself wide here. Aurier's having his work cut out, trying to stick with Douglas Costa there. Just dink that over, looking for Memphis, and then we'll try and play it inside, looking for Rabiot, but it's a really wayward header. Now we're in trouble. Here's Paulo Dybala on the right-hand side. Not on his favoured left foot, but he has tried to turn back onto it. Very nearly got past two defenders there. Bruno Fernandes will look inside for Rajan Nangolan, and can we, on the counter-attack, give ourselves the lead again before half-time? Nicola Pepe looking to get in behind Danny Carvajal. Beautiful change of direction there, but unfortunately not able to get past the second defender. And that will be 1-1 at half-time, I would have thought. The referee still playing on here into the 5th minute of stoppage time. De Vrij battling with Cristiano. Can't get it off him. Aurier does. Oh, and he does blow for half-time. I thought for a minute he was going to give them the corner there as well. If they'd have scored there, that really would have been absolute uproar from the home fans. Juventus having just the one shot so far, but it went in. So they are clinical in front of goal, it seems. Going to have to ensure that we limit them to minimal chances in the second half. Douglas Costa turns back well. Never know which way he's going to go, Douglas Costa. That's a good ball in as well, and Telles just makes sure. Doesn't want to risk it by trying to head it away. Just anywhere will do for Alex Telles in that situation. Koke does deliver into the middle. Lafont has come to punch. Gosh, Cancelo beats Luka Jovic to it. Bonucci into Costa. Oh, still Douglas Costa twists and turns. He's gone for the shot again this time. We are able to get someone in between him and the goal. Koke to deliver another corner. Ronaldo's there at the near post if they can find him. They're going... Oh, they have gone to Ronaldo, and it's roof of the net only. Not far away at all from Cristiano. It's Douglas Costa coming on the back foot here. Juventus. Pjanic there to Paulo Dybala. Back to Pjanic. Joao Cancelo, Dybala, Ronaldo. This is dangerous football from Juventus into the middle. Oh, space at the back post for Koke. Switching off the men in the middle as I'm trying to close down the cross, which I'm not able to do. They leave Koke all alone at the back post. There's two there on Douglas Costa, and he's on his own, Koke. He couldn't miss. Brilliant header. Lafont didn't stand a chance. Juventus have turned it around from 1-0 down to 2-1 up. And in the battle for the Serie A title here in Season 2, they look like they're going to take the advantage. Douglas Costa. Racing down the line. Cross comes in early. It's going to be over De Vrij. No, he's been able to get there. I thought Cristiano is going to have another headed effort there. Oh, I am not sad at all to see the back of Douglas Costa. Off for Bernardeschi, I think it was. We'll find out in a moment. It was Piazza. Piazza's come on in his place. That's not the best of clearances. Dybala gets that to Cristiano into the middle and away. Oh, it's not the best of clearances either. Matuidi loitering with intent, but we do eventually work it away. Bruno Fernandes gets tackled though. Can't cope Juventus here. We really can't. It was 2-1 in the Supercoppa. It's 2-1 in the league. But we do still have time to find an equaliser, and I will continue to try and do so. Looking for Luka Jovic in behind, but that won't quite fall short enough for him. Angolan back there nicely to Aurier. There's space in behind here for Nicola Pepe. They've switched off defensively, Juventus. Matuidi's trying to close him down. Nicola Pepe racing into the box. I'm just going to pull this back, and Jovic hits the bar. Memphis, simple finish. We're level. Oh, the fight for the title goes on. Memphis Depay with a very simple finish. I'm really disappointed for Luka Jovic there. Great positioning from him. Wasn't able, unfortunately, to turn it home for his second. Just moved away from the defender. Great technique for the finish. Just couldn't keep it down, and Memphis couldn't miss. Header at the back post for their second. Header at the back post for my second. Politano's come on for Nicola Pepe now. We'll see if we can get ourselves in front, perhaps in the final 10 minutes. Also brought on Brozovic for the tiring Nangolan. Fresh legs on the right-hand side are my two central midfielders, and fresh legs on the right-hand side are my three forward midfielders. Maybe we might be able to sneak a winner. Oh, we might be going behind again. Piazza with the header, well saved by Alban Lafont. Koke, one of their goal scorers, goes off. And it's Bentancur that's come on in his place. Dybala whips that corner, although it's not the best. Politano gets up to knock that, and it seems like Dybala's happy enough to settle for a second corner. Only 5 minutes to go here. Been another really tough battle against Juventus. And Matuidi with a header. Alex Telles away off the line. I'm not sure if it was on target or not. Lafont was sprawling. Whether he would have got there or not, I'm not sure. Memphis flies in. Is it a corner? It is. I was hoping it was just going to be a throw. Bonucci going off.
Is Chiellini.
Oh, let's see what's going to happen now. We'll get rid of this, please. Well up, Rabiot. Here's well Cancelo. Forward there to Dybala. And away from Memphis. Oh, and inside to Pjanic. Skriniar does really well. And we'll poke that forward again. Between the intercepts, we're just holding out here, trying to last until full time. Is that a foul on Dybala? No, nothing given. Skriniar shows the strength against Ronaldo, and I would imagine that will be full time. It's going to be a 2-2 draw between the two top teams in Serie A. Oh, wow. That was such a hard game of football. We always have tough games against Juve. Always have tough games against Juve with these sliders. Really difficult fixture, but one that we're able to come out with a point from and keep our title hopes very much alive. We won Serie A last year. We've struggled through the group stage in the Champions League this year, but it looks like we're going to hopefully stand a decent chance of getting through to the quarters again, with it being Lyon in the round of 16. We shall. Oh, we've got Atalanta at the end of the month. Please tell me that's at home. It is. I feel comfortable enough to simulate that and see us get through. We've Sampdoria at the end of the week. We're level on points with Inter Milan at the top of the table. An offer here for Babic, which I shall reject. And then we shall continue forward and end the month. I'm unsure what to do with that 113 million, or however much we've got left. Another offer for Giordano, which we shall continue to reject. Offer for Vecino as well of 13.4 million. I'm not going to accept that. Vecino is aging. He's not old. He's 28. I'm not sure. You guys will have to let me know in the comment section if he's a regular in the starting lineup at Inter Milan, or whether he is potentially a player that we could move on to spend that large amount of money that we've got left between now and the end of the season to perhaps bring someone else in and then sell someone else on in the summer. We have Rabiot, Nainggolan, Vecino, Brozovic and Gagliardini. It's 5 central midfielders. I could potentially, Lukiewicz with a brace in the first half here against Sampdoria. I could potentially sign another centre mid. Bruno Fernandes with a third. Sign another centre mid. Sell one of Brozovic, Gagliardini or Vecino. So Nainggolan gets himself sent off. And then replace Nainggolan in the first team as he starts to drop in rating. Nainggolan I won't sell. I want to keep him at the club because he's still good enough to be relatively regular in the amount of games that he's playing for us. But do I try and use this money that we've got left over before the end of this season and have the player join us next year? Or do we wait and just try and carry the money over? I'm not sure. I will leave it up to you guys in the comment section to let me know. In fact, I may throw a little vote up. We're going to have to deal without Rajan Nainggolan on this occasion. It's Brozovic that's going to step in. Let me know in the. I'll do a little vote. Do we spend that money between now and the end of the season, or do we save it and let it carry over till next year? There will be a vote in the top right with that little eye symbol again. Do let me know your verdict, and we shall. Oh, Nicola Pepe with a penalty. Skriniar with a red card. That's 2 red cards in back-to-back games for us now. Still the 2-1 lead is intact with 10 minutes to go. We are into the semi-finals of the Coppa Nazionale. I was confident prior to that game of simulating it. When we got the red card, I was slightly concerned that I might have maybe made the wrong decision. No. We made the right decision and we're still locked at the top of the table with Juventus. Intro Sony Gabriel Jesus, that's fine. We shall finish transfer deadline day now and be happy enough with our business. Lukiewicz bagging a couple of goals in the game against Sampdoria as well. Delighted with the way that he started life here at Inter Milan. I'll reject that for Bruno Fernandes. He's one of my highest rated players and one of my best performers. So we shall maintain to keep him at the club. The biggest deals so far, Aubameyang, well, other than my 135 million for Icardi, Aubameyang to Atletico Madrid for 57.2, and Luka Jovic to me. So we're involved in 2 of the 3 biggest deals in the entirety of the January transfer window. We won't be doing any more business ourselves, but someone else might do a bit of business, and that, I think, was the big deal there. It was Gabriel Jesus going to Paris Saint-Germain for 77.6 million. Big deal from the Parisians to take one of our previous, well, basically the second option that we had if we weren't able to get Jovic, strikers, away from us potentially signing him next season, but I don't think we'd do that. I think if we are to do anything at striker, it would be to move Memphis up top to support Lautaro and Jovic, and then we'd look to sign a new winger. But we'll have a quick swing through here and see what the other larger sides in the league have done. Fiorentina have sold Simeone, so they've weakened themselves in this window. We obviously signed Jovic and sold Icardi. Felipe Luis in at Juventus. Oh, he'll be aging though. Alexandro has been sold in this window prior to when we played Juventus. Aouar and Duarte in at AC Milan. Aouar coming in as a big signing. Alaba in at Napoli, as well as Simone Zaza. They've sold a number of players, including Raul Albiol and Dries Mertens. Roma signing Levan Kazawa, and that's it. And there aren't any other massive sides left to have a look at. So I think we've had the best window there. I'm pretty sure we have. These are my youngsters that remain. Marco Romano is now 65 rated. His finishing is really starting to improve. I probably won't need another striker. He can, hopefully, if his physical starts to improve. We are training, of course, his strength and his sprint speed. Hopefully, we can get his stats to continue to improve, and he might be able to do a job for us at striker. Russo, not looking like he's going to be that good at left back because of his lack of pace, but we'll wait and see how he grows. Schultz, obviously not going to be played at left back, but he's not growing that well either, actually. But he's still only 16. And Brankovic, he's up to 71 rated now, so growing really well. As soon as he wants to be called up, I'm quite happy to do that and to use him. We start the next episode tomorrow with Napoli, and we've got Roma in there too, and we'll also be playing Lyon in the first leg of the Champions League round of 16 as well. We're at home in that fixture. Big month tomorrow, and big vote for you at the end of this episode as well. Do let me know what to do with that money. I might just keep it and let it carry over to next season, or we could spend it between now and the end of this year. I shall do as you wish. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time.